You're a pathetic excuse for a wife, Savannah. I don't know why I ever married you. Ethan's words cut deep, his contempt palpable. If only he knew the depths of my resolve, the meticulous planning I've poured into my impending revenge. Oh, Ethan, I think to myself, you're about to reap what you've sown. Our marriage wasn't always this way. In the beginning, Ethan was charming, attentive, and I truly believed we had a future together. But as the years passed, his controlling nature began to surface. It started with small criticisms, subtle jabs at my cooking or the way I kept the house. I brushed it off, determined to be the perfect wife. Savannah, can't you do anything right? Ethan's voice echoes through the kitchen as I scramble to prepare dinner after a long day at work. I slave away all day to provide for this family, and this is what I come home to? I bite my tongue, knowing that any attempt to defend myself will only make matters worse. Instead, I focus on setting the table, ensuring everything is just so. Lily, our 5-year-old daughter, watches from the doorway, her eyes wide with uncertainty. Ethan's behavior only escalates over time. He questions my every move, belittles my accomplishments, and makes me doubt my own abilities as a wife and mother. I find myself walking on eggshells, constantly trying to anticipate his moods and avoid triggering his anger. Mommy, why is Daddy always yelling? Lily asks one evening as I tuck her into bed. Her innocent question breaks my heart. Sometimes grown-ups have disagreements, sweetie, I explain, trying to keep my voice steady. But it's not your fault, okay? Mommy and Daddy both love you very much. Despite the turmoil at home, I strive to maintain a sense of normalcy for Lily's sake. I take her to the park, read her bedtime stories, and do everything in my power to shield her from the growing tension between Ethan and me. But even my best efforts can't protect me from Ethan's increasingly volatile temper. One night, during a particularly heated argument, he corners me in the bedroom, his face inches from mine. You're lucky I put up with you, he seethes, his breath hot against my skin. No one else would tolerate your incompetence. Fear grips my heart as I realize the gravity of my situation. I can't continue living like this, constantly under Ethan's thumb. I need to find a way out, not just for myself but for Lily's future. That's when I begin to plan my escape. I start quietly documenting Ethan's abusive behavior, keeping a hidden journal of every cruel word and intimidating action. I know I'll need evidence if I'm ever going to break free from this toxic marriage. Little by little, I start squirreling away money, opening a secret bank account that Ethan knows nothing about. I reach out to my best friend, Naomi, confiding in her about the hell I've been living. She becomes my lifeline, my confidant, and my strength. You deserve so much better, Savannah, Naomi tells me over coffee one afternoon. You're a strong, capable woman, and you don't have to put up with Ethan's abuse any longer. Her words ignite a fire within me, a determination to reclaim my life and my dignity. I know the road ahead won't be easy, but I'm ready to fight for my freedom and for the future Lily deserves. As I sit across from Ethan at the dinner table, watching him scowl at the meal I've prepared, I feel a flicker of satisfaction knowing that his reign of terror is about to come to an end. He has no idea what's coming, but I do, and I'm ready to watch him burn. Ethan's promotion at work brings a new level of stress into our already strained marriage. Instead of celebrating his success, he becomes even more critical of my every move. I find myself constantly on edge, trying to anticipate his demands and avoid his wrath. Savannah, the house is a mess, Ethan barks as he storms through the front door one evening. What have you been doing all day? I glance around the living room, taking in the scattered toys and the pile of unfolded laundry. Between working part-time, caring for Lily, and managing the household, I barely have a moment to breathe. I'm sorry, Ethan, I say, my voice trembling. I'll tidy up right away. You're sorry? He scoffs. That's all you ever say. When are you going to step up and be a real wife and mother? His words sting, but I swallow my tears and set to work, desperately trying to meet his impossible standards. Lily watches from the couch, her little face etched with worry. As the days pass, Ethan's criticism only intensifies. He nitpicks every aspect of my parenting, from the way I dress Lily to the meals I prepare for her. You're coddling her, he accuses when I comfort Lily after a nightmare. She needs to learn to toughen up. She's just a child, Ethan, I protest, holding Lily close. And you're just a pathetic excuse for a mother, he retorts, his words dripping with venom. I feel like I'm suffocating under the weight of Ethan's constant belittling. I struggle to balance my work at the boutique with my duties at home, knowing that any slip-up will incur his wrath. One afternoon, I'm running late picking Lily up from daycare after a particularly busy shift. When I finally arrive, I find Ethan waiting outside, his face contorted with anger. "Where the hell have you been?" he demands, grabbing my arm and yanking me towards him. "I'm sorry, there was a problem with a shipment at work," I explain, wincing at his tight grip. "I don't want to hear your excuses," he seethes. "You're a failure as a wife and a mother. I don't know why I ever married you." His words cut me to the core, and I feel a wave of hopelessness wash over me. How did my life become this nightmare? That night, after Lily is asleep, that Ethan's rage reaches a boiling point. He corners me in the kitchen, his face inches from mine. "You think you can just disrespect me like this?" He growls, his hand gripping the back of my neck. "I provide for this family, and this is the thanks I get?" Fear courses through my veins as I feel his fingers tighten, his breath hot against my cheek. For a terrifying moment, I'm certain he's going to hit me. "Ethan, please," I whisper, my voice barely audible. "You're hurting me." Something in my tone must register, because he releases his grip, shoving me away from him. "You're not worth it," he spits before storming out of the room. I sink to the floor, my body shaking with silent sobs. I can't live like this anymore, constantly walking on eggshells, fearing for my safety and Lily's well-being. With trembling hands, I reach for my phone and dial Naomi's number. She answers on the first ring, her voice filled with concern. "Savannah, what's wrong?" she asks, sensing my distress. "I can't do this anymore, Naomi," I choke out. "I need to leave him." "I'm here for you," she says firmly. "We'll figure this out together." As I end the call, a flicker of hope ignites within me. I know the path ahead will be treacherous, but I'm determined to break free from Ethan's tyranny. I'll do whatever it takes to protect myself and Lily, even if it means risking everything. With renewed resolve, I begin to plan my escape, documenting every moment of Ethan's abuse. He may think he has the upper hand, but he has no idea what's coming. I'll make him pay for every ounce of pain he's inflicted upon me. This is just the beginning of my revenge. "You need to leave him, Savannah," Naomi urges, her voice filled with concern. We're sitting in a quiet corner of our favorite coffee shop, a place that has become my sanctuary away from Ethan's constant criticism. I stir my latte, watching the foam swirl on the surface. "It's not that simple, Naomi. I don't have the means to support myself and Lily on my own." Naomi reaches across the table, her hand covering mine. "You can't keep living like this. It's not safe for you or your daughter." Deep down, I know she's right. Ethan's behavior has escalated to the point where I fear for my physical safety. But the thought of leaving, of starting over, is overwhelming. I don't even know where to begin, I confess, my voice barely above a whisper. "Start by documenting everything," Naomi advises. "Keep a record of every abusive incident, every threat. It'll be important when you file for divorce." Divorce. The word feels foreign on my tongue, a concept I never thought I'd have to consider. But as I sit there, the weight of my reality bearing down on me, I realize it may be my only option. "I'm scared, Naomi," I admit, tears pricking the corners of my eyes. "What if he tries to take Lily away from me?" Naomi squeezes my hand, her gaze fierce. "We won't let that happen. You're a fantastic mother, Savannah. Any judge would see that." Her words give me a glimmer of hope, a tiny spark in the darkness that has become my life. I take a deep breath, steeling myself for the battle ahead. "Okay," I say, my voice growing stronger. "I'll start gathering evidence, but I need to be careful. If Ethan finds out—" I trail off, the unspoken fear hanging heavy in the air. Naomi nods, understanding the gravity of the situation. "We'll take it one step at a time," she assures me, "and I'll be here for you every step of the way." With Naomi's support, I begin my secret mission. I document every cruel word, every threatening gesture. I take photos of the bruises on my arms, the holes punched in the walls during Ethan's fits of rage. At night, while Ethan sleeps, I research divorce laws and custody arrangements. I create a secret email account, reaching out to domestic violence hotlines for advice. But even as I take these steps towards freedom, the fear never quite leaves me. Ethan's presence looms large, his anger always simmering just beneath the surface. One evening, as I'm putting away laundry in our bedroom, Ethan bursts through the door, his face contorted with rage. "Who were you talking to on the phone earlier?" he demands, his eyes narrowing. My heart races, my mind scrambling for an explanation. "It was just a client from work," I lie, hoping my voice doesn't betray me. "Don't lie to me, Savannah," he growls, taking a step closer. "I heard you whispering. Are you trying to leave me? Is that what this is about?" Panic rises in my throat, but I force myself to remain calm. Of course not, Ethan, I would never. Before I can finish my sentence, he's on me, his hands gripping my shoulders, shaking me violently. If you even think about leaving, I'll make sure you never see Lily again. He seethes, his face inches from mine. You're nothing without me, Savannah. Nothing. Tears stream down my face as I nod, my body trembling with fear. Ethan releases me, shoving me away with disgust. Remember your place? He spits before storming out of the room. I sink to the floor, my breath coming in ragged gasps. In that moment, I realize the true depth of Ethan's cruelty, the lengths he'll go to maintain control. But even as fear threatens to consume me, a flicker of determination ignites within. I won't let him break me. I won't let him win. With renewed resolve, I continue my secret preparations, my heart set on the day when I'll finally be free from Ethan's tyranny. He may think he has me trapped, but he has no idea what's coming. I'll make him regret every moment of pain he's caused me, every tear he's forced me to shed. This is just the beginning of my revenge, and I won't stop until justice is served. The revelation of Ethan's affair hits me like a ton of bricks. I stare at the credit card statement in disbelief, my eyes fixated on the charges for a romantic getaway at a luxury resort, a getaway that I certainly didn't attend. Fury courses through my veins as I realize the extent of Ethan's betrayal. Not only has he been unfaithful, but he's been using our joint account to fund his indiscretions. I confront him that evening, the statement clutched in my trembling hand. Who is she, Ethan? I demand, my voice shaking with anger. Ethan looks up from his laptop, his expression a mix of surprise and annoyance. What are you talking about? I slam the statement down on the table. Don't play dumb with me. You've been having an affair and you've been using our money to pay for it. For a moment, Ethan is silent, his eyes scanning the damning evidence. Then, to my shock, he laughs. Oh, Savannah, he sneers. Did you really think I'd be satisfied with a wife like you? Arya understands me in ways you never could. The casual cruelty of his words takes my breath away. I feel like I've been punched in the gut, the wind knocked out of me. How long? I manage to choke out, tears blurring my vision. Ethan shrugs, his indifference a dagger to my heart. A few months. Not that it's any of your business. Not my business? I explode, my voice rising to a shout. You're my husband, Ethan. We have a child together. How could you do this to us? He stands abruptly, his chair scraping against the hardwood floor. Don't play the victim, Savannah. You drove me to this with your constant nagging and inadequacy. I reel back as if slapped, his words cutting deeper than any physical blow. In that moment, I realize the man I married, the man I thought I loved, is a complete stranger. I want a divorce, I say, my voice barely above a whisper. Ethan's eyes narrow, his face twisting into a sneer. You'll get nothing from me, Savannah. I'll make sure of that. He storms out of the room, leaving me alone with the shattered remnants of our marriage. I sink to the floor, my body shaking with sobs. But even as despair threatens to consume me, a flicker of rage ignites within. I won't let Ethan destroy me. I won't let him win. With a newfound sense of purpose, I begin to plan my revenge. I gather evidence of Ethan's affair, screenshots of incriminating texts and emails. I document every penny he's spent on his mistress, every lie he's told. I reach out to a lawyer, a fierce woman named Julia who specializes in high-conflict divorces. She listens to my story with a steely determination, her eyes flashing with anger on my behalf. We'll make him pay, Savannah, she assures me. He won't get away with this. Bolstered by Julia's support, I begin to lay the groundwork for my escape. I secretly start saving money, squirreling away cash whenever I can. I research apartments and job openings, determined to build a new life for myself and Lily. But even as I take these steps towards freedom, Ethan's cruelty knows no bounds. He flaunts his affair, leaving love notes from Arya scattered around the house. He drains our accounts, leaving me with barely enough to feed our daughter. One night, as I tuck Lily into bed, she looks up at me with wide, innocent eyes. Mommy, why are you and Daddy always fighting? My heart breaks at the confusion and fear in her voice. I smooth her hair back from her forehead, forcing a smile. Everything's going to be okay, sweetheart. I promise. And I mean it. I'll do whatever it takes to protect my child, to give her the life she deserves, even if it means destroying Ethan in the process. As I lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, I feel a sense of calm wash over me. Ethan may think he has the upper hand, but he has no idea what's coming. I'll make him regret every moment of pain he's caused, every tear he's forced me to shed. This is just the beginning of my revenge, and I won't stop until he's left with nothing but the ashes of his own destruction. We have a strong case, Savannah, Marcus assures me, his voice steady and confident. We're sitting in his office, the evidence of Ethan's misdeeds spread out before us. I nod, my heart racing with a mix of fear and anticipation. I want to make sure Lily and I are protected, I say, my voice trembling slightly. I can't let Ethan hurt us anymore. Marcus leans forward, his eyes filled with compassion. I'll do everything in my power to ensure that you and your daughter are safe. Ethan won't get away with this. With Marcus's guidance, I begin the process of building a case against Ethan. I gather bank statements and phone records, anything that can prove his infidelity and financial betrayal. Naomi is my rock throughout it all, offering me a place to stay when the tension at home becomes unbearable. She helps me search for apartments and jobs, determined to give me a fresh start. You're doing the right thing, Savannah, she tells me one evening as we share a bottle of wine. You deserve so much better than Ethan. I smile, feeling a glimmer of hope for the first time in years. Thank you, Naomi. I couldn't do this without you. But even as I take steps towards freedom, Ethan's cruelty reaches new heights. He cancels my credit cards, leaving me without access to our joint accounts. He threatens to take Lily away from me, to paint me as an unfit mother in court. One afternoon, as I'm picking Lily up from school, Ethan corners me in the parking lot. His eyes are wild, his face contorted with rage. You think you can just leave me? He seethes, grabbing my arm. I'll destroy you, Savannah. I'll make sure you never see Lily again. I wrench my arm away, my heart pounding in my chest. You don't scare me anymore, Ethan. I'm done being your punching bag. He lunges towards me, but I'm faster. I dodge his grasp, scooping Lily up into my arms and running towards the car. This isn't over, Ethan shouts after me, his voice echoing in the empty lot. You'll regret this, Savannah. But I don't look back. I buckle Lily into her car seat, my hands shaking as I turn the key in the ignition. Where are we going, Mommy? Lily asks, her voice small and frightened. Somewhere safe, baby, I promise her. Somewhere where Daddy can't hurt us anymore. That night, holed up in a hotel room, I make the final preparations for my escape. I transfer all the evidence against Ethan to a secure cloud account, ensuring that he can't destroy it. I draft a letter to his boss, detailing his affair with his coworker and the way he's been embezzling company funds. I include copies of the incriminating emails and texts, the proof of his deceit. With a sense of grim satisfaction, I hit send, knowing that Ethan's carefully crafted facade is about to come crashing down. The next morning, I drop Lily off at Naomi's, giving her a tight hug and a promise to return soon. Then I head to the courthouse, my heart in my throat. Marcus is waiting for me, a thick folder in his hands. Are you ready? He asks, his voice gentle. I take a deep breath, squaring my shoulders. I'm ready. Together we walk into the courtroom, the evidence of Ethan's misdeeds laid out before the judge. I watch as Ethan's face turns from smug confidence to disbelief, then to outright fury. But it's too late. The judge grants me a temporary restraining order, barring Ethan from coming near me or Lily. She orders him to vacate our home, to surrender his keys and credit cards. As we leave the courthouse, I feel a weight lift from my shoulders. For the first time in years, I can breathe again. Ethan may have thought he could break me, but he underestimated my strength. He underestimated the power of a mother's love, the depths of my determination. This is just the beginning of my revenge, and I won't stop until Ethan is left with nothing but the ashes of his own destruction. He'll learn the hard way that no one messes with Savannah and gets away with it. The day of reckoning arrives, and I feel a sense of calm wash over me as I enter our home, the divorce papers clutched tightly in my hand. Ethan is sitting in the living room, his eyes glued to the television screen. We need to talk, I say, my voice steady and clear. Ethan looks up, his expression a mix of annoyance and boredom. What is it now, Savannah? I'm busy. I toss the divorce papers onto the coffee table, watching as they slide to a stop in front of him. I know everything, Ethan. Your affair with Arya, the money you've been stealing from our accounts. It's over. For a moment, Ethan is silent, his face a mask of shock. Then slowly his features contort into a sneer. You don't have the guts to leave me, Savannah. You're nothing without me. I laugh, the sound harsh and bitter. That's where you're wrong, Ethan. I'm stronger than you ever gave me credit for, and I have proof of all your lies and betrayals. I pull out my phone, showing him the screenshots of his incriminating texts and emails. I watch as the color drains from his face, his eyes widening with fear. You bitch, he snarls, lunging towards me. You'll pay for this. But I'm ready for him. I step aside, letting him stumble past me. No, Ethan, you're the one who's going to pay. I've already sent copies of everything to your boss and to the authorities. Your days of hurting me and Lily are over. Ethan's face twists with rage, his fists clenching at his sides. You think you can just walk away from me? I'll destroy you, Savannah. I'll make sure you never see a dime of my money. I smile, a sense of triumph washing over me. I don't want your money, Ethan. I want my freedom, and I'm taking Lily with me. I turn to walk away, but Ethan grabs my arm, his fingers digging into my skin. You're not going anywhere, he growls, his breath hot against my face. But I'm done being afraid. I wrench my arm away, my eyes blazing with fury. Touch me again, and I'll have you arrested for assault. I'm done being your victim, Ethan. I'm done letting you control me. I walk out the door, my head held high. I can hear Ethan shouting after me, his voice filled with rage and desperation. But I don't look back. I climb into my car, where Lily is waiting for me, her little face filled with confusion and fear. It's okay, baby. I soothe her, buckling her into her car seat. Mommy's here. We're going to be okay. As I drive away, I feel a sense of relief wash over me. The road ahead won't be easy, but for the first time in years, I'm in control of my own destiny. The next few weeks are a blur of legal proceedings and emotional upheaval. Ethan fights me every step of the way, trying to paint me as an unfit mother and a vindictive ex-wife. But Marcus is a force to be reckoned with, presenting the evidence of Ethan's misdeeds with a calm and steady hand. The judge listens intently, her eyes narrowing with each revelation. In the end, the truth wins out. I'm granted full custody of Lily, along with a generous settlement from Ethan's assets. The judge also orders Ethan to attend anger management classes and substance abuse counseling, a requirement for any future visitation with his daughter. As we leave the courtroom, Ethan's face is a mask of defeat and humiliation. He tries to approach me, his eyes filled with a desperate plea. Savannah, please, he begs, his voice cracking. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you. But I shake my head, my heart hardened by years of pain and betrayal. It's too late, Ethan. You made your choices and now you have to live with the consequences. I take Lily's hand, leading her out of the courthouse and into the bright sunlight. For the first time in years, I feel a sense of hope and possibility. Ethan may have thought he could break me, but he underestimated my strength. He underestimated the power of a mother's love, the depths of my determination. This is just the beginning of my new life, and I won't let anyone stand in the way of my happiness. Ethan will learn the hard way that karma always comes back around, and I'll be there to watch him fall. The divorce proceedings are a battlefield, with Ethan using every dirty trick in the book to paint me as an unfit mother and a vindictive ex-wife. He twists the truth, spinning lies and half-truths, to anyone who will listen. But I refuse to sink to his level. I hold my head high, my evidence speaking louder than any false accusation. In the courtroom, Ethan's true colors are on full display. He lashes out at me, his voice dripping with venom and contempt. She's an unfit mother, Your Honor, he declares, pointing an accusing finger in my direction. She's unstable, emotionally abusive. She's trying to turn my own daughter against me. I feel a white-hot rage building inside me, but I force myself to remain calm. I know the truth will come out. Marcus presents our case with a steady hand, laying out the evidence of Ethan's abuse, his affair, and his financial misdeeds. He calls witness after witness, each one corroborating my story. Ethan's lawyer tries to discredit me, to paint me as a liar and a gold digger. But under Marcus's skillful questioning, the truth becomes clear. In the end, the judge sees through Ethan's lies. She grants me full custody of Lily, along with a generous settlement from Ethan's assets. Mr. Harrington, she says, her voice stern and unyielding, your behavior throughout these proceedings has been reprehensible. You have shown a blatant disregard for the well-being of your child and a complete lack of remorse for your actions. Ethan's face turns red, his fists clenching at his sides, but he knows he's been beaten. As we leave the courtroom, I feel a sense of relief wash over me. It's finally over. I'm free, but my relief is short-lived. The next day, I receive a call from Ethan's boss, his voice filled with shock and anger. Savannah, I just wanted to let you know that we've terminated Ethan's employment, effective immediately. The evidence you provided was irrefutable. We cannot tolerate such behavior from our employees. I feel a twinge of satisfaction, knowing that Ethan is finally facing the consequences of his actions. But I also feel a sense of sadness, knowing that his downfall is a result of his own choices. The news of Ethan's termination spreads like wildfire, and soon the whole town is buzzing with gossip. Everywhere I go, I feel the stares and whispers, the pity and the judgment, but I hold my head high, knowing that I did what I had to do to protect myself and my daughter. I refuse to let the opinions of others define me. As the weeks pass, I begin to rebuild my life. I find a new job, a small boutique where I can put my fashion skills to use. I enroll Lily in a new school, where she thrives and makes new friends. Slowly but surely, the wounds begin to heal. The pain and the anger start to fade, replaced by a sense of hope and possibility. But even as I move forward, I can't help but feel a sense of unease. I know that Ethan won't go down without a fight. I know that he'll stop at nothing to make me pay for what he sees as my betrayal. One evening, as I'm leaving work, I find a note taped to my car window. My heart stops as I read the words scrawled in Ethan's familiar handwriting. "You think you've won, but this isn't over. I'll make you regret the day you ever crossed me." I feel a chill run down my spine, but I refuse to let fear control me. I crumple the note in my fist, tossing it aside. I know that the road ahead won't be easy. I know that Ethan will continue to try to hurt me, to make me pay for my perceived sins. But I also know that I'm stronger than he ever gave me credit for. I know that I have the love and support of my daughter, my friends, and my family. And I know that in the end, the truth will always win out. Ethan may have thought he could break me, but he underestimated the power of a woman scorned. This is just the beginning of my new life, and I won't let anyone stand in the way of my happiness. Ethan will learn the hard way that karma always comes back around, and I'll be there to watch him fall. Life after the divorce is a journey of rediscovery, a chance to rebuild and redefine myself on my own terms. Lily and I settle into our new apartment, decorating it with bright colors and happy memories. At first, the transition is difficult. Lily misses her father, and I struggle with the guilt of tearing apart our family. But as the weeks pass, I watch my daughter blossom, her smile returning and her laughter filling our home. My job at the boutique becomes a source of pride and accomplishment. I pour my heart into my work, and soon I'm promoted to assistant manager. Naomi remains a constant source of support, always ready with a listening ear and a shoulder to cry on. She helps me navigate the challenges of single motherhood, and together we create a new normal for ourselves and our children. But even as I thrive in my new life, I can't escape the shadow of Ethan's anger and resentment. He lashes out in small ways, leaving angry voicemails and sending threatening texts. One evening, as I'm leaving work, I find him waiting for me in the parking lot. His eyes are bloodshot, his face twisted with rage. "You think you've won, but you're wrong," he snarls, grabbing my arm. "I'll make you pay for what you've done." I wrench my arm away, my heart pounding in my chest. "Leave me alone, Ethan. It's over." But he doesn't listen. He lunges towards me, his fists clenched. I scream, bracing myself for the impact. Suddenly, a voice rings out across the parking lot. "Step away from her now." I turn to see a security guard running towards us, his hand on his radio. Ethan hesitates, his eyes darting between me and the guard. "This isn't over," he hisses, before turning and stalking away. I collapse against my car, my body shaking with fear and adrenaline. The security guard helps me inside, calling the police and taking my statement. The next day, I file for a restraining order. The judge grants it without hesitation, ordering Ethan to stay away from me and Lily. But even with the restraining order in place, I can't shake the feeling of unease. I know that Ethan is still out there, still plotting his revenge. I throw myself into my work and my daughter, determined to create a better life for us both. Lily thrives in her new school, making friends and excelling in her studies. I watch with pride as she grows and changes, her confidence and resilience shining through. She is the light of my life, the reason I wake up every morning and face the world with a smile. But Ethan's life takes a different path. I hear rumors of his struggle to find employment, of his descent into alcohol and despair. Part of me feels a twinge of satisfaction, knowing that he is finally facing the consequences of his actions. But another part of me feels a sense of sadness, knowing that his downfall is a result of his own choices. One day, I receive a letter from Ethan. I open it with trembling hands, bracing myself for another threat or accusation. But instead, I find a simple message, scrawled in his familiar handwriting. "I'm sorry, Savannah, for everything. I know I can't take back what I've done, but I want you to know that I'm trying to be a better man. For Lily's sake, if not for my own." I stare at the words, feeling a mix of emotions washing over me. Part of me wants to tear the letter to shreds, to reject his apology and his attempt at redemption. But another part of me knows that forgiveness is a choice, a gift that I can give myself. I take a deep breath, folding the letter and tucking it away. I know that the road ahead won't be easy. I know that there will be challenges and obstacles, moments of doubt and fear. But I also know that I am stronger than I ever thought possible. I have the love and support of my daughter, my friends, and my family. And I know that, in the end, I will emerge from this journey a better, stronger version of myself. Ethan's betrayal may have shattered my world, but it also gave me the opportunity to rebuild, to create a life that is truly my own. This is just the beginning of my new chapter, and I am ready to embrace it with open arms. The future is bright, and I am excited to see where it will take us.